lot of people will make money, but when you can make a difference, you can't buy that.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Growth and Scaling Podcast. Today is a treat. And I say that often, but I honestly have to tell you today, I'm a little surprised, shocked, and blessed for the guest that I was able to interview today. James Dentley is the man that I had on the show today, and you're going to love the interview that we just had. A little longer than normal, but so packed full of just impactful teachings, wisdom, and guidance for people like you and I who are trying to grow and scale our businesses. Fantastic man. What a life legacy. Retired in 1995 and has continued to grow and scale through other people over the years. I mean, 25 plus years of pure growth through helping other people. I love people like this because it's one thing to have a successful career when you're young. It's another thing to live the rest of your life giving back and helping people grow. With his efforts to help other people in their growth journey, what I love most about James is his impact that he's had. In today's episode, you're going to hear a lot of amazing things that he talks about, not only personally, but also in the realm of business growth. Business growth is on the top of all of our minds. We all want to grow our businesses. And if you're not, you're on the wrong podcast. But today, the most important lesson I learned from James is that your business growth is entirely dependent on your personal growth. And if you're not investing in yourself and in your own growth, you are going to hit a wall and you're not going to be able to get any further and things start falling apart. So take some time to listen and re-listen to this episode because this man, James Dentley, is a man that's full of inspiration, full of kindness, full of love, and you're going to feel that through every word he says in the interview. Thanks so much for being here. If you've got questions that you wish I would have asked, things that you'd like to know from James, go ahead and put it in the comments below. I'm happy to reach out to him and see if he's willing to respond back to anything that you've got. And I appreciate you being part of our community on the Growth and Scaling Podcast. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Growth and Scaling Podcast. I am so blessed today to have with us none other than James Dentley. James, will you please help everyone know who you are and what you do?
Well, first of all, Todd, it's an honor to be here. And when you ask me who I am and what I've done, it's going to be pretty lengthy because it's kind of incredible. Last week, I agree. Well, I'll tell you, actually, I am a royal knight of the oldest royal order on the planet, the House of Cappadocia, Constantine the Great, and St. Helen. That started at 312 AD.
Wow.
So I'm not only a knight, so I'm a sir. I'm also the Grand Prior of Illinois, which means it's like the governorship. And as last week, I was elevated to become a baron, which is a global title. And it stays in my family forever. I believe I even have a family crest now as a baron.
What?
Yeah, man. So it's pretty cool. And it's just a platform where we go out to the world and try to make the world just a little bit better. How do we serve more, come together, collaborate, and do some great. This is my family crest. That's registered globally.
I love
it. Life is pretty cool. So my official title now.
You're the first knight I've ever had.
My official title is now, my wife and I have a lot of fun with it, His Excellency, Baron of St. James of Cappadocia, Sir Dr. James Dentley III, Grand Prior of Illinois. It is fun.
Wow.
Yeah, it is.
That's the longest title I've ever had for anyone on the show. I think if I put that in the title, it may be longer than anyone can see on the search bar.
Exactly. So we have a lot of fun with it for sure. Absolutely. But I don't know.
Now, how does one grow to be a sir, a knight? How did that happen?
You have to qualify in one of 8 categories. They look at this like as if it was a Nobel Peace Prize, really. It's right up under that. Wow. As far as what people, if you can't ask for it, you can't buy it. You have to be nominated, go through a process, be vetted. But you have to be exceptional in either the arts, architecture, engineering, entrepreneurship or innovation, heroism. You can be in the armed forces, saved a lot of people, or first responder, or healthcare.
Right.
Medicine and psychology, philanthropy, science, and then sports. And you have to be exceptional in one of those areas.
Wow. Wow. And what was the area you were nominated in?
Philanthropy and in business. Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're here to talk about today. I mean, so you've obviously built an empire over the last 23, 24 years in TV production, show production, things like that. Tell us about that journey. Like, who's your client? Who are you trying to help out there?
The TV network started in 2020 because I've always been an innovative person. I always look at what's next, and I look at where the world's going and say, how can I add value to it? And how can I add value to the people who trust me, that I care about, and to be able to get a message out there that can impact the lives of so many. During COVID time, there weren't any meetings. Nobody was face-to-face in no rooms. So I decided to start a network, and I was inspired by a gentleman named Bernie Dorman, who was the founder of CEO Space, another gentleman named Ryan Long, who was the founder of the City Gala City Summit, who came to me and blessed me and graced me with the highest award they've ever given out and the first recipient of the Legacy Award. And to get that award above and the people before me were Matthew McConaughey and Esther Kuster. And I was then able to take that award and hand it to the next person every year. I would hand it to them every year. So I was a focal part of that. And it was really about the work in philanthropy, just trying to give back, man, just trying to make a difference, to be so blessed. And if you're able to do it, then do it with all your heart and try to make a difference. Because a lot of people will make money, but when you can make a difference, you can't buy that. The feeling that is significant for other people. So my background, my mother raised myself and three sisters as a single parent, working in a grocery store. And I always was a person I was innovative, and I always had to find ways to create money because we didn't have it. So from the early age, I could create money very easily and still can, because you simply have to solve a problem and fill a need, create value. And I always was able to do that. And I would bring money home to my mom and my sisters. And I got a job in a restaurant, and I was the youngest general manager in the restaurant nationwide at 18. I was the youngest district manager, youngest regional manager. I moved from Chicago to Texas and got with a company called Steak and Ale, which was a steak lobster restaurant with 150 employees, and I ran those. And then I decided to come home and go into business for myself. I found out really quickly there's a big difference between being a manager and an owner. The manager buys things, orders things, the owner pays for things. Totally different. Totally different. So I learned a lot of lessons because I had mentorship in how to manage. I was great at it. How to develop people, I was really great at it. But didn't know how to run a business. Trial and error. And even when I would have success, I was so burnt out, it wasn't worth it. I was trading my life, trying to provide a life for my family. And I was dying, trying to figure out it has to be more than this. Too much stress. So I moved to Atlanta, and someone tricked me into getting into the industry of network marketing, which I hated. And I accidentally made about $30 million.
You accidentally
I was able
did
to
it.
retire January 13th of 1995 and help 88 people in that industry and traditional business earn between $1 and $30 million. So I was known for a trainer.
Congratulations.
They had to do the work. I was just a really good student that taught what I was taught and certain principles.
When you help that many people find that kind of success, there's more to it than just they did the work. That's great leadership. So congratulations on that.
I'm honored and blessed with it, man, because see, at the end of the day, they chose me and they trusted their decision. Yeah. So I honor that and take it very seriously. So I began training speakers in 1995 because I understood the psychology of communication, and the way I would speak and how I would speak was different than everyone else. I read everything. I studied everything. And I always looked at what's next? How can I be not the same? How can I do something a little different, more impactful, with great measurable results? So I began training speakers, and I would speak on stages up to 25,000. I've been in front of over 1 million people. I take speakers all over the world to help them brand.
Amazing.
And then I teach them not only how to speak, but provide the platforms for them to speak on so I can give them a safe place. Right. Well, when streaming came about with COVID, no stages, I created the network to give them a higher platform and to build a celebrity brand, but also work with them on becoming better so they can own that space and deliver results to people. And then we can help children, veterans, and seniors through our nonprofit endeavors, be able to help other families and teach other people to help, because our success can be somebody else's miracle.
Totally agree. What a blessing. What a blessing. What a great thing to do. What a great pivot during such a weird time in our world's history.
Well, it was kind of interesting because everybody was hurting in the arena of speaking, and I had a hip replacement that year. So I did nothing the entire year, and my income doubled in one of my businesses. I ended up making almost $3 million, and I didn't get off the couch. And then I sold 2 other companies while I was sitting on the couch. And I was so blessed, I decided to go back in and help more people because it was such a blessing and an honor that I was able to be in a situation that's sustainable. And I wanted to give back because I like to create, I like to help people win. I always look at what's next.
Right. Now, again, going back to what you just said, that doesn't just happen without good leadership and good management of your business entities. I mean, growing and scaling while you're down on the couch for a year is not an easy thing to do unless you've incorporated the right systems and the right strategy to do so. How do you feel like that happened? Like when you look back on 2020 and that year in the couch, what was it that you did in your organization that set those wheels in motion to grow and scale, whether you're there in person or not?
Well, I'll give you a few pillars there. First, it's not what you do, it's who you become. Because your success can take you someplace your character won't keep you. If somebody trusts you and invests in you, whether they invest their time or money or their trust, they are buying you.
Yeah.
And they believe that they feel like their hair is on fire and you have the water and you can help them. And I teach my trainers, I teach my speakers, Todd, that when you're on stage, we don't get the diva effect. You know, you're not the star when you're on that stage. You are the director. Your audience is the star. And you've done your job and you get your Oscar when you help people win in that audience. That's when you've done it. So to stay and understand the power of that humility. Don't be afraid of the word. The humility just means you work in a quiet intensity because you're just going to stay there in the presence of other people and just be present. So that's number one. That's the first thing. Number two, people will enroll in a vision. So you have to have a big vision. You have to, the Solomon said they have no vision, they perish. When people don't have, you have to give a vision that can encompass the people around you until they find one for themselves.
Sure.
So you have to have the audacity of a big vision. Everything in the world happens twice. The thought, the thing, the mental, the physical, the inner, and then the outer, and everything that is once was not. This computer, once upon a time never exists, right? But everything needed to create it was always here. We couldn't see it.
Yeah.
So how do you expand that line of sight with your vision? Then also, you look at causes. When you create a cause, people will enroll with you in a cause, and even if they're not having success, they'll stay there with the cause until they have it. You got to be cause-driven. What is the purpose? It's just people make money that's still unhappy. You know, people have it all. They wonder, would somebody love me if I didn't have money? Would they love me if I wasn't beautiful and a model? All these things, because in the core, you are who you're conscious of being. And when you understand how to value yourself, you're able to value other people and love people for them and not for you. And there's a big difference. Big.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah.
And you know what? People align with that so much more than hey, I'm going to make you rich. I'm going to make you famous. There's so much more to it when you align with that vision, and when you can express it in the right way. Not only do you align with your employees and your team, but also with your clients. So these are fantastic. I hope those listening are taking notes and rewind, because these 3 things so far are a great start. What else you got for us, James?
Well, you got the vision. You got the vision. You understand you're working on yourself to becoming. You have to get a mentor, and don't be afraid to invest in yourself, even if you can't afford it. Don't ever say you can't afford it. Whatever you speak from your lips, that's your reality. You don't make money, you create it. The bank makes it, the mint makes it. You create money by creating value. You can create money, currency could be you serving. I served really hard for someone and didn't take a paycheck to get everything. So it's not just the money, it's the value that you bring and the excellence that you try to achieve in the work that you do. So find out what your gold medal talent is. What do you do really well and exceptional? If you're not sure, because most people, Todd, don't know what they want or don't know how to get it. So
Agreed.
If a person doesn't know what their gold medal talent is, all they have to do is send out a text message to 10 of your closest friends and family members, 5 people in your business life, 5 people in your personal life. You ask them a question and tell them you really need them to be honest with you, because it's important for you where you want to go in your life. The question is simply this. What do you think I do really, really well? Why do you like me or respect me? What traits do I have? Do you really feel good about me? and they'll give you a lot of answers, and you take the
it.
consensus of that, and you'll find you, because you can't see the picture if you're the picture.
Dude, listen, it's a lot better to look at the picture than to be in the picture sometimes.
Yeah. Every successful person has a coach somewhere, because we all have blind spots, and we can see other people, but we really, in our life, man, in our educational system, we were taught a lot of things, but we were never taught about ourselves.
That's true. That's true. There's not a lot of focus on that, is there?
Yeah.
And I've heard this practice done before, and I'm actually confident that came from you. And I've tried that before. I texted 10 close friends. Mm-hmm. I asked them what they thought about, what my specific talent and where they thought I should be, and it was fascinating. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was a general consensus that I had not seen in myself, that other people saw in me, that really brought a good vision of where I needed to go with my skill sets. Yeah,
exactly. So many people give up hope and they try to attach their identity to a circumstance or an action in their life. And there's always another way. When you go through tough times, like when I was diagnosed with cancer or sarcoidosis, I kept operating because I choose life every day, because anything that lives seeks fulfillment, except for human beings, because we get all in our head. And you have to be able to control three things: what you say, what you do, and how you think. Because everything is happening inside of me. And if I can't control what's happening inside of me, then I'm a slave to whatever's pulling that string. I can't control what's happening outside, but I can control what happens inside. I'll give you a good example. I was talking to my sister and my nephew today, and I'm asking you this question. Right now, can you see me right now?
Yeah, I mean,
digitally, see me, right? So if you point to me, do you see me inside of you or outside of you?
Outside of me.
Okay. Now, if you think about sight, your eyes simply take in rays of light, and it gets transfigured in here, and just gets pictures in your brain to identify what you see. So you don't see with your eyes, you see through them. So you actually see me inside of you.
Interesting.
That's the power of what is in you. Your body has trillions of cells that have to communicate and talk every day to keep you alive every single moment of the day. They're better than you are. They're more intelligent than you are. We don't use a lot of this at all. This is more intelligent. It's going to take care of itself, and it's always seeking to live no matter what. Life chooses life. So you already have everything you need. Stop seeking things outside of you and embrace the things inside of you and be okay there. And then get out of your emotions, because feelings, they're fleeting. Sure. People say, my heart is broke. My heart is broke. I can't get out of bed. If your heart was broke, you'd be dead. In a story.
True story.
I have butterflies. EKG, no butterflies. You're in an emotion. Right. So I'm not saying don't feel. I'm saying how you respond to that is a choice. Because when I was diagnosed with cancer, Todd, it was such a gift, because in the past, if somebody got sick or was diagnosed with cancer, I'd say, well, I'll pray for you. I'll be hoping and wishing the best for you. Now I can say, I understand. Let's talk about it. An NFL player just called me 10 minutes ago. His brother has prostate cancer. And I said, and we gave him some product, and he's in remission. The doctor says, whatever you're doing,
keep doing it.
Don't stop. Yeah. Now the football player wants to take our products to the NFL. Okay, great. Now, I was telling him my story, and then through my story, if I never had cancer, I couldn't give him some possible solutions of hope from a perspective of what happened.
And nor would he have come to you, probably.
Yeah, and that's the blessing. So there's a blessing in all that tragedy, man. It prepares you, basically learn from it and grow from it, and just become better. And don't worry about not being perfect. Be perfect inside of your imperfection.
Love it. Hey there, friends. Todd Wester here. I want to thank you so much for listening to this episode, but I also want to take just a few seconds to let you know about a project that we've been putting together for the last several months, and we're finally launching it, called the Captain's Council. You see, as a CEO or operator of a business, it can feel like you get stuck in your own head a lot of the time. You get challenges that you don't know how to resolve. You get people causing problems in your leadership team that you don't know how to resolve, and it's so hard to overcome those things by yourself. You don't have to anymore. Join the Captain's Council. Captain's Council is a group of other CEOs and operators and owners of businesses, where we come together once a month for several hours to discuss the biggest challenges you're facing. You express to the council of 8 to 10 people about what's going on. Where do you feel stuck? And these other people are in the same boat as you. They're running and operating their own businesses. They're your peers. They help you kind of dissect what's happening and help you see things that you may not have seen all by yourself. If you don't have a good, strong network of people around you, come join the Captain's Council. This is going to be something that will change the way you run your business and open your eyes to opportunities that you have never seen without the help of your peer group. Come check it out, captainscouncil.com. Yeah, it's fascinating. And how do you translate this into business? You know, because a lot of people on this show, they're coming to hear people talk about their journeys, not only in life, but in business. And how do they translate that? I mean, a lot of people try to isolate themselves from their business, and you feel like the person to me who exemplifies yourself in your business. You tend to put yourself out there as, these are my values, this is the way my business operates. How do people translate that and make those connections?
Well, here's the challenge. You have to be in agreement with the people that are around you. You have to be in a company of people that encourage you and support your dream. If you're in a relationship, you don't have to even work together, but you have to respect and honor your partner's role and what their values are, and vice versa. So therefore, no matter what happens in my day, I'm interested in your day all the time because it affects where we're going.
Right.
But what are we doing separately that brings us together to create a higher mission? Number one. And if you don't have that, you run into problems and you run into emotion, you get bored, you start
100%.
playing head games for
100%.
yourself. You have to be in agreement to win. And most people are not in agreement with the people around them. Now, I'm not saying dump the people around you. I'm saying you create separation by lifting higher your goals and dreams. If my goal is to make $1 billion and your goal is to go bowling every Tuesday, there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't make me better than you. God bless you. But I'm going to be doing $1 billion activity and you're going to be at the bowling alley. So now, why would I think that way? I think the problem is, Todd, that most people aim too low and hit, and they feel like, I don't want it to be all about money. It's not. It's about expression. It's about the God in you, about expression. Nothing else. A tree doesn't grow and says, I don't want to go any higher. I'm tired. I don't want to be more than 3 feet. It's going to grow as far as and deep as that roots can take it. Human beings make a decision because we get emotional because we can't fail if we don't try. And we get sucked into our environment, and either going to make you conform to the environment or rebel against the environment and break out, one or the other. And you can make that choice. Now, why do you do it? Because your success is someone else's miracle. You impact other people. And when you make a decision not to try to win, people lose. And that's my definition of a dysfunctional family.
100%.
When the leaders of the family are not even, it doesn't matter if you don't make it, get back up and try something else. Get back up and try. Eventually, you're going to keep swinging, you're going to hit it. Keep swinging. You got to do it because people are watching you. And the one thing you can give your people that follow you are not, man, look, if you know I have a documentary out about my life. I have an honorary doctorate degree. I had a D average in high school. Never went to college. I thought I had a B once, and it was really 2 Ds real close together. Never.
Oh, come on.
Never. My sister was smart. I had a good memory, and I was smart at the things I did, but school was boring to me, and I didn't try to learn all that. My wife's a double scientist and a physicist, and so she is intelligent, I is rich. Okay, no problem. We get along fine. We have fun with that. But my point is that some people beat themselves up or they get caught up in this identity. The world is shifting now to a point of innovation. Most industries, 80% of those industries will be gone.
Yeah. You think so?
It's a new world. McDonald's now has restaurants that don't have employees.
Right. It's true.
It's true. You walk in the lobby. You go to the kiosk, order food. They don't require a person to put fries in a bag. They can make a Kit Kat. Todd.
Yes, they can.
You know what a Kit Kat, a Reese's peanut butter cut. That's got to be harder than flipping a burger over when it gets to be 90 degrees.
Agreed. That's so awesome.
All right, they gotta fill it, shape it, pack it, wrap it, and then put it in the box and count it out with no people.
Amen to that. That's a perfect example.
Yeah, yeah. They're driverless cars. Right. We got Uber, but Uber's going to go away when you don't need a driver.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, delivery people, they'll be delivering with driverless cars. But trucks, when trucks go away, you don't need all of the stops, the coffee shops along the highway. The world's going to change. Now, if it's going to change anyway, take some time and try to discover, and Google's a great tool, where's the world going? And then, see, 80% of our life is driven by subconscious. That means we operate on habit alone. We don't even think. Like you're driving a car, and you weren't paying attention, but you're still in the lines. That's you driving a habit. You just brush your teeth, you just do it. 15% is conscious. That means we are conscious and control 15% of the time. The 5% is the magic. That's your imagination. Walt Disney said, "Gotta have this about a dream. It began with a mouse." What do you see in imagination? And we stifle the imagination, striving to be realistic and saying, "Well, I've got to pay this bill," or "How can I get money as an issue out of the way so I discover who I really can be and what I can create in my family?" Because the greatest thing we look for is significance. Do we count? Do we matter? What does this life mean, man? If you know you matter, then if I matter, then you matter.
100%.
If I don't think I matter, then I'm hurt. So I hurt you because you don't matter either. You're a reflection of everything I feel like I'm not.
Right.
So I strike out at you because I don't like me.
100%. And I think that we see a lot of that going on in the world today, right?
Yes, yeah. And your business is still going to be your culture, because when you do that and you create the right culture, see, the wrong person can't stay in the right environment. It's like building a football team or any type of choir. People go in and out, You find the right combination, and then you got it. But it takes time and work. And just like a relationship, you evolve, you work at it, but you have to communicate. And that's one of the things I love about training speakers, is that I teach you the psychology of communication, how to speak into the listening and even the nervous system of another human.
So James, let me ask you, because this is kind of on the tip of everyone's thoughts right now. When you're trying to build that culture, when you're trying to establish the values of your company and push that forward into something people align with, I think so many people today are so scared to present what their values actually are, what they stand for. Are you a God-fearing person? Are you someone that's accepting everybody? Or are you someone that's very specific in your value system? They're scared to offend. What do you say to people that are scared to offend? How true do you need to be to really grow and scale into what you can grow and scale into?
First of all, faith and doubt can exist in a sense.
Love that.
Number one. Number two, sometimes it's not really fear, it's the adrenaline in your body telling you to move forward. And you feel it in your body. See, it's not your brain first, it's your body. If a person feels like their heart is broke, they feel it in their body. You could be brain dead and the body's going to keep trying to live. So the body has a brain too. So you have to be able to condition your body to take action. Do the thing you fear the most, and the depth of fear is certain. Try it. Study it. Wait for the best. Get coaching, get mentors, study who's ever done it before, and find out who they are. Because, see, here's the thing. You ever heard of the laws of attraction?
Course,
Like, I wrote a book called The 5 Frequencies of High Performance. I studied the laws of attraction through Bob Proctor, John Assaraf, Tesla, everybody else. I shifted and I said, it's not so much attraction, but awareness. First of all, it's awakening, then awareness. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
That you ever heard? You ever had that exercise where I say, look around your room and tell me everything that's in your room that's blue. And you look around, you see everything's blue, right? And I tell you to close your eyes, and I say, now tell me everything is red. And you can't, because you're focused on one thing. But when you open up your eyes, all this red stuff is here, and it's always here. So if everything that exists once did not exist, but everything needed to create it was always here, why couldn't we see it? Because we're locked into a paradigm of our own making. We imprison ourselves in our own making. So you have to get that imagination and be free. So I would say, try to write down 1,000 goals. It's going to be the hardest thing you ever did in your life.
Interesting.
You run out of stuff. It means you got to make everything a goal, like breathing. I want to breathe 10 times. You got to make everything a goal. So when you do that and you put together a 100-year life plan beyond your lifespan, but you have the audacity to plan a course for your children's children. They don't have to follow it exactly, but at least they have a directive there instead of playing spin the tail with a donkey and we all got to figure it out all by ourselves because we don't know who we are. And that's why a family crest is important. What does this family stand for? Who are they? Okay? Even if you mess up, my kids know all of my failures. They tell them. Okay? I'll be perfectly honest with you because you can appreciate the other side of it with that. So when you do that, you start stretching the imagination because whatever a person can conceive and believe they can achieve, but it has to come first with something inside of you. Even in the Bible, the earth was void without form.
Yeah.
And God said, let there be light. Thou should decree a thing, it shall be established unto you, and then it will be accomplished where it has been sent. You have to speak it out loud, and you have to become it. And don't worry about getting it. If you start to be it, then you automatically do it, and you automatically have it.
Amen. Yep. Yep. Totally agree with you. Now, James.
So business is easy, man. Yeah.
Did I just lose your camera? Is your camera showing up on your side?
Not yet showing up on my side.
Okay, good. As long as it's showing up on your side, it'll upload afterwards. So I'm not too worried about it.
Good.
James, so obviously you're a man of faith. That is embedded in your value system. That's embedded in your companies. I know I can feel the love that you feel for others all in everything that you do. How do companies who are just kind of establishing themselves build that so that people can align with them? Do you feel like that's something people should be scared to do or something they just need to get out and do?
Well, we're afraid to do a lot of things. We do it anyway. You're afraid to go on your first date. Afraid to go ask a girl to dance. Afraid of a lot of stuff. We operate with fear waiting to happen. We're always afraid of stuff, but we still have to do it. Afraid the first day of school or going to a new school or moving and building new relationships, or afraid to get divorced and afraid to get another relationship. We are fear waiting to happen, low grade upset. So you have to have a vision of what you want to create in life and what life you want to have. And you slowly move through that fear. And it's really going to be about the relationships you have. But if you're building a company, it begins with the culture. And don't be afraid to grow with your people. Find out what they want and build a culture that's all-inclusive. Because I never had to terminate people. They did it themselves. If I let somebody go from a job, they would hug me and thank me and say how hard it was. and I would still refer them because I didn't let them lose their sense of self-respect.
That's awesome.
That something was wrong with them. It's tough.
Yeah.
But they did it, and I understood we had that communication. So I think in business and in life, Todd, it starts with communication.
Agreed.
You have to have it out there, man. What is it? What do you stand for? And it goes both ways because 57% of communication is nonverbal. So that means you got to lead by example. You got to show up positive. You got to be apologetic, and you also have to be a disciplinarian. You also got to be the nurturer.
Yeah.
You got to put people in a position to win. But what do we stand for? You want people to move towards excellence. And don't lose it if they can't find it right away.
Love it. I appreciate that so much. I know there's a lot of people out there who are in kind of this growth mode of their business and they're thinking, I got to be a little more careful. I got to be a little more cautious. I got to be, we're starting to grow. We're starting to gain recognition. And I don't know why they feel this way, but a lot of them are scared. They're nervous. Which flag should I be waving today? And I think that there's, at its core, light attracts light, and people are attracted to the light that you show. What common problems are you seeing in today's environment, in the business environment in particular? When people are launching and growing and scaling, what are you seeing as some common mistakes that are pretty easily avoided by following some certain principle?
Number one, most people don't invest in themselves, and they don't understand they can't afford not
Agreed.
to. No matter what it takes. How much value do you have in yourself? Number one, because when you invest in yourself, you're going to get more information, but it puts you in a different space where you'll meet other like-minded people. Because most people who have these big dreams and ideas, they feel like they're all alone. They feel like nobody understands them, and they don't even understand it themselves. They don't even know what to do with themselves, right? And when they get out, they find out, oh, wow, somebody else out here like me. And then somebody else says, wow, I've been through it, follow me, right? So that's number one. So when you get to that part of it, and you say, okay, you invest in yourself, now you got to start thinking bigger, which means you got to read and study what's happening in the world, and how can you fit whatever you do into it. I have silly putty. Remember silly putty?
Yeah. 100%.
Like some dough, like a thing. Silly Putty, they sold millions of dollars of that stuff, but the intention at first was to build a tire during World War II when we were fighting Japan because the rubber came from them. And they couldn't get the Silly Putty to hold it.
Is that right?
See? Post-it notes. Yeah, absolutely. Post-it notes. They were trying to make a glue that couldn't be unbound. They come up and make hundreds of millions of dollars selling the mistake. I have a friend of mine with a lottery machine. He was trying to do a first standalone lottery machine. He lost the bid. He turned it into the technology that when you used to go to LAX before Uber and all that, you go to the board at the airport and you communicate with your hotel transportation there. He created that out of a mistake.
Wow.
Jeff Hoffman created the kiosks in all the airports where you get your boarding pass. He had an engineering degree on software, but he created it because he missed his flight and everybody was complaining. But he decided it's got to be a better way. And he never did anything in hardware. He figured it out, found people to do it, an idea, and sold it for $100 million. One of my dear friends on my board.
Love it.
Every Ugg Boots, Brian Smith's story. Oh my God, he lost his company by signing a crazy contract without paying attention to what he signed. He ended up getting it back years later, but he was depressed on his hands and knees. His wife said, "Get up off of your hands and knees and walk to that bed. No husband of mine will crawl to that bed." He tells his own story. But he has to go through that to have a story that can make the pain points of his life lighter for us so we can laugh at it and say, okay, it's okay. I can make it through because you told me your story.
Right.
And that's what I like about the TV and streaming. And we don't have subscribers. We have a membership, a community, because people win trips and prizes. Maybe we give away cruises.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I've so much enjoyed this conversation. This has really, really been fascinating. You just spew knowledge and wisdom in every word that you've said today. I really appreciate you being here today. Is there any last tidbits of advice you give to those who are on the brink of something awesome with their business and they just don't know where to go? You've talked a lot about, directing, gain wisdom, talk to people, get to know some people in your industry. What else is there for them to do? What should they be focusing on first?
Matter of fact, first of all, we live in a world right now, things are moving really fast. And things are going to change no matter what. So don't sit still. You may start off like when McDonald's, he was in hamburgers, he found out he was in real estate. Jeff Bezos was in a bookstore, he found out he was in fulfillment. I'm not a streaming network. I am a customer acquisition value-based opportunity that uses streaming to bring people from a TV set into our world, bring them to events, build relationships, teach them, train them, let them know they appreciate it, get them on the big screen so they don't have to watch Tom Cruise, your Tom Cruise, because you got a story to tell too. And to create an opportunity as an environment where we get a chance to know people, because it's going to take all of us to make the world a little better. And all we can do is our part, just a little bit better. If we just do that, then I think it's worth it. So I would say dream a bigger dream, and follow those dreams wherever they may lead. And never, ever get distracted by less worthy deeds. Remember to shelter them and nourish them and help those dreams to grow. And let your heart hold them down deep where dreams go. You follow your dreams, you pursue them with haste. Remember and never forget that your life is too precious and it's too fleeting to waste. So if you shelter them and nourish them all your days through, the dreams you choose to follow will always come true. Hold on to it, don't quit.
Wow. Love that. Is that your quote?
That's my quote, sir.
James Dentley, that is powerful. That is so powerful. I am gonna have to post that on my wall. That was inspirational. Thank you.
You got it. It's my pleasure. And these things, JD3 TV, we have a masterclass with a lot of great training. I give away $5,000 in masterclass training for somebody being in the network, watching movies, TV shows, and getting the training. But then I come on once a month and mentor. And they can do it for $14.95. Everybody else pays me $40,000.
Wow.
So come get it. JD3TV.com or come to our events. We have them all over the country and starting next year, definitely in Chicago.
Love it.
And let's build a community because we need the genius of everybody else. They know things we don't know. And we all together make each other better.
James, you're a good man. I love what you're doing. Anyone that needs to know more about what James is up to, please look in the show notes below. We're going to put links to JD3 TV and everything else he talked about in the comments. In fact, I'm going to get that quote and put it in the comments below. I love that. Love that. James, thank you so much for taking time to be with us today. We know your time is valuable, and we appreciate you taking the time to address our group. And we'll catch up with the rest of you on the next episode. Thank you, James.
My pleasure, Ty. Keep doing amazing work, man.
Hey, what did you think of that episode? I absolutely am so grateful that it happened. So grateful that we were able to get him on the show, and so grateful that you've been patient enough to listen to the entirety of this podcast, because so much value, so much wisdom, and I appreciate him so much for taking the time to do this with us. I don't have any crazy connections. I don't have anything that's really amazing that I've done to get him on the show, other than he told me after we recorded that the reason he did it is because he cares about people wanting to grow and scale. He truly does. And I appreciate him taking the time to take out of his day to be with us. So if you're in the mood to grow and scale, if you are trying to build your business in ways that you never thought you could, find inspiration in this man, find inspiration in yourself, and invest in yourself. How do you do that? There's so many ways. Get a coach, join a peer community, be a part of a group of other founders and operators just like you that can provide you feedback and help you become a better person and to become a better business leader. I have this show sponsored today by Captain's Council. If you don't know what it is, you need to look it up. CaptainsCouncil.com provides exactly what James suggested you do, a way to invest in yourself. If you aren't giving yourself the opportunity to grow through the advice and connection of other operators and founders of companies, you are missing so much in your life. The community, the connection, the information, the wisdom that you get from a peer community of other people actively operating businesses. We're not talking about people that have been there, done that 20 years ago. We're talking about a community of active leaders building and growing and nurturing their business. You need to be a part of it. I want you to be a part of it. Check out Captain's Council today, and we cannot wait to catch you on the next episode of the Growth and Scaling Podcast. Thanks so much for being here.